It wasn't just the fog, though the fog was always there, thick and unwelcoming, swallowing the edges of the forest like a living thing. It was something deeper. Something older. As if the asphalt itself had learned how to forget those who traveled it. Elena Carter kept her hands tight on the steering wheel, her headlights cutting weak tunnels through the grey haze. The GPS on her dashboard had stopped working 20 minutes ago. Now it simply displayed a frozen map with a single word blinking in pale blue. Recalculating. She exhaled slowly. Of course, she muttered. Of course it's recalculating. She glanced at the passenger seat. A thick manila envelope lay there, slightly bent at the corners, as if it had been handled too many times before reaching her. On the front, written in precise, almost mechanical handwriting, were just 3 words. For Elena Carter. No sender. No return address. Only a postmark that didn't make sense, Black Hollow, a town she had never been to, never even heard of until 3 days ago. Her phone buzzed once. Then again. No signal. Elena sighed and dropped it back into the cup holder. Perfect. The forest outside seemed to lean closer as she drove. The trees were tall, unnaturally straight, their branches tangled like skeletal fingers above the road. Every few seconds, she thought she saw movement between them, too deliberate to be wind, too quick to confirm. She tried to ignore it. She had driven through worse places. At least, that's what she told herself. But something about this felt wrong. Not dangerous in the obvious way. Not like a broken bridge or a stranded tire. It felt personal. Like the road was aware of her. The envelope shifted slightly as the car hit a bump. Elena finally reached for it. The paper was cold. Inside were photographs. She slowed the car instinctively, pulling slightly off the road without thinking. The headlights flickered against the fog as she spread the photos across the passenger seat. The first image made her breath catch. It was a house. A small wooden structure surrounded by dense forest. Familiar in a way that made her stomach tighten, though she knew she had never seen it before. The second photo showed the same house, but closer. As if someone had walked forward between shots. The third made her grip the steering wheel so hard her knuckles whitened. It was a photograph of her. Standing outside the house. Looking directly at the camera. Elena's heartbeat thudded loudly in her ears. I've never been there, she whispered, as if saying it aloud would make it more true. I've never, this is impossible. But the image didn't lie. Her face was unmistakable. The same coat she owned. The same posture. Even the faint scar above her left eyebrow. A scar she got when she was 12. She dropped the photo. Her foot pressed the brake without permission. The car rolled to a stop in the middle of the fog-drenched road. Silence pressed in immediately, heavy and absolute. No birds. No wind. Not even the distant hum of insects. Only the faint ticking of her engine cooling down. Elena looked up through the windshield. The road ahead was gone. Not obscured, gone. Where there should have been a continuation of asphalt, there was only darkness. A perfect wall of fog so dense it looked solid. She swallowed. This isn't real, she said firmly. This is just some kind of mistake. A prank. But her voice sounded weak even to her. Then her headlights flickered. Once. Twice. And in the third blink, something stood in the road. Elena froze. A figure. Tall. Motionless. Too far away to see clearly, but unmistakably human-shaped. She blinked hard, leaning forward. The figure didn't move. Her breath came shallow now. Hello, she called, immediately regretting it. No answer. She reached for her phone again. Still no signal. When she looked back up, the figure was closer. Her chest tightened. No, that's not possible. She hadn't seen it move. Not at all. And yet it had shortened the distance between them by what felt like several meters. Her instinct screamed at her to reverse. Her hand reached for the gear shift. But before she could move, a knock hit her window. Elena gasped violently and turned her head. A man stood beside her car. So close she could see the condensation of his breath against the glass. He was pale. So pale it looked unnatural in the fog. His eyes were dark, sunken, fixed directly on hers with an expression that wasn't quite anger, And not quite recognition either. Just certainty. Like he had been waiting for her for a very long time. Elena's voice broke. "Who are you?" The man didn't answer immediately. Instead, he tilted his head slightly, as if studying her through the glass. Then, softly, too softly to be heard clearly, his lips moved. And somehow, she still understood him. "You're late," he said. Elena shook her head. "No. I'm just lost. I don't know this place. I don't know you." The man's expression shifted, just slightly. Something like disappointment. Or pity. He raised one hand. And pressed it against the window. That's when Elena noticed something that made her stomach drop completely. His hand wasn't outside the glass. It was already on the inside of the reflection. Like the glass wasn't a barrier at all. Like it was a doorway. The air inside the car suddenly felt colder. The photos on the passenger seat fluttered, though there was no wind. And then the man spoke again. But this time, his voice came from behind her. "Elena, you opened the envelope." Her entire body locked. Slowly, terrified of what she might see, she turned her head toward the back seat. And there, sitting directly behind her, was the same man. Smiling gently. As if he had always been there.